Good morning, everyone. Jim Laird here, live on the road somewhere. And this is going to be interesting today. I figured I'd experiment with this. I'm moving my computer around, sorry. Since I'm going to be on the road a lot in the near future, I figured we'd see how well this thing works on the road. So this could be sketchy, and that's okay. It's a little experiment. I even brought my big microphone with me, but um, the C port, I need a C port adapter for this. I'm in the process of getting a new laptop. I had a new laptop that I'd gotten to do the podcast on, but it kind of it didn't end up working out real well. It ended up crapping the bed, so to speak. So we're gonna try this today, see how it works. Give me and I'm on my headset microphone, so let me know if it sounds decent or terrible, but we'll count today as kind of a little science experiment. So let me know if you can hear me. That would be helpful. So let's see here. What do we got going on? Well, yesterday we did a really great testosterone webinar, and next week we're back to blood pressure. So if you're not on our email list, make sure you put go to stillmanwellness.com. Thank you, James. I appreciate the feedback on that. James says I sound good. So excellent. I know I look fabulous. So that's all that really matters. Sticking to my outdoor theme at all costs. Make sure you go to stillmanwellness.com. When the pop-up comes up, get on the email list. You're going to get a free blood pressure webinar next weekend or next week, next Thursday. Emails for that go out Monday, Wednesdays to give you access to that. And then it's basically stuff we're putting on our courses. So you're basically getting courses for free, essentially, for being on our email list. And really, we're completely transparent about this. Once you go through, when you go to the pop-up, you'll go through the Fundamentals of Wellness Coaching Program email sequence. It's actually a pretty good email because we go through the 5 fundamentals in the emails. So we give you the 5 fundamentals. So once you get through that email sequence, I think you get an email every day. After that, we usually only send emails out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We try not to blow your email box up too much. And of course, if you don't like it, you can always unsubscribe. But that's most of the emails we send out are promoting our courses or what's going on and all that sort of thing. So it's not overly salesy. We're kind of really mindful of that. We just want to help as many people as we can, but still make a living at the same time. Dr. Stillman is traveling today. He's actually speaking at Runga. So obviously he's on a plane, so we can't really, you probably could do it on a plane. I don't think they'd really appreciate that very much. So the topic for today, the truth about self-sabotage, why do we do it and how to fix it? And this is just based on my opinion, observation, my own self-experience. A lot of people are self-sabotaging just because they're just not in a good place. They don't feel good about themselves. They don't have a good relationship with themselves. So they end up doing stuff like, it could be anything from, food to drugs, just to high risk behaviors, to even like, in extreme cases, like cutting yourself, right? A lot of people just want to feel something, right? We live in this like overly dopamine, like, lots of dopamine for free. And so they want to up the ante. So, real, sugary foods, nicotine, using nicotine, things like that. So a lot of people will have a goal and or they feel cruddy, and so they want to feel something, right? So they drink alcohol, they do stuff that's going to make them feel something. And so a lot of that is fixed by or managed by getting outside. Why are people feeling so cruddy today? Well, one, lack of social connection. I was watching some kids last night. They were sitting at a table and they were all texting each other. None of them were having any conversations with each other. And it's just like they're all talking to each other on the phone, and none of them even looked up. Like I sat there for like 15 minutes and watched them. I was like, this is insanity. And I'm bad enough. But at least I can have a conversation with people. A lot of the kids that are younger today, I'll try and engage a conversation, and probably doesn't help the way I look, but it's just crazy. So there's a lack of social connection. There's a lack of getting outside. There's a lack of doing manual labor. Like there's something to be said for doing manual labor every day. You go outside, you do a hard day's work. You feel good at the end of the day. You might be a little bit tired, but when you spend all day inside, I've been driving. I've driven a lot. Drove about 8 hours yesterday, and I stopped and took 10-minute walks and moved around and all that sort of thing. But still, like sitting there for that long in a car, you don't feel great. So you're looking for things to make you feel better, right? Energy drinks, all that stuff that they're selling us, processed food, sugar, that sort of thing. So getting somebody overall healthier is going to basically help them not, crave this stuff that they're medicating themselves with, that goes for everything, cigarettes, the whole deal, right? So getting people healthier, getting them outside, getting them eating good food, high quality water. Of course, it's a big truck. Of course, he's probably going to sit right now here and park. No, well, maybe. So the fun of doing a live broadcast outside. So never a dull moment here. So getting people healthier in general is going to help them self-sabotage and value themselves. A lot of people have really bad relationships with themselves. Maybe they didn't have very nurturing mentoring, or maybe they had an over-nurtured childhood, or maybe there was abuse or whatever, or people just don't have good self-worth. They don't value themselves, so they treat their body, like a stolen car, right? So a lot of people have things they need to work through. And the number one most important relationship you have is with yourself. And if you don't have a good relationship with yourself, it's going to be difficult. You're going to do some things that probably aren't good for you because you don't value yourself, and a lot of people, it's like, why did you eat that? Well, I like it, I enjoy it, but is it really good for you? So getting people to slow down and think about things is really important. And honestly, people with social media, they're trying to compete with all these other people. They're comparing themselves to other people, but all you really need to do to be successful is become a better version of you. Every day, get up, and you're a unique creature. I mean, there's no one else like you. Especially for me, that's a good thing. We don't need any more of me. That's for sure. One of me is plenty. So if you don't value yourself and you're not trying to make yourself better, you're going to end up medicating yourself and trying to make yourself feel better. A lot of people like to control their failure. So a lot of people would rather fail of their own hand than fail because of an external source, or, they kind of feel like they're more in control of their failure. So a lot of people will self-sabotage themselves, and a lot of people can't handle success. So they subconsciously will self-sabotage themselves. Or peer groups, a lot of people, that you ever heard of the crabs in the bucket? Why don't they just all crawl out? The other people drag them down. A lot of people will start getting, we had a lady that actually signed up for one of our courses, and it was in our weight loss course. And she was like, I have to have 3 to 4 drinks a night, write me a program to lose weight. And I was just like, if you're drinking 3 to 4 drinks a night, it's going to be really difficult for you to lose weight in a healthy way. And she's like, I can't do that. I'd have to get a whole new group of friends, and there's no way, all my girlfriends and I go out and drink every night, and I'm not willing to give that up. Okay. So that for her, she's going to sacrifice her health to, appease her friends. Or, a lot of people will do the family thing. They'll sacrifice their own health to keep their family happy or their spouse happy. And that's a really delicate situation, right? The wife wants to wear blue blocking glasses and have red lights on at night, and the husband rolls his eyes and it's like, no, we're not doing any of that crazy stuff, while he's watching, Netflix in his underwear at 12:30 at night, and wonders why he feels like garbage, right? One spouse wants to take ownership of their health, the other one doesn't. And a lot of times people will ignore their health in order not to rock the boat, right? So that could play a big part of it as well. So please, if you're watching, please give this a like. It helps us out. Lord knows we don't get pushed out much. So there's just a few things let me know if you guys have any thoughts of why people self-sabotage themselves, or why you guys uh, have you found certain reasons why you sabotage yourself. It's pretty common. A lot of people really struggle with they do really well for a few days, and under eating calories too. I mean, that's a big one. High intensity exercise, they'll train really hard, and their appetite will go up, and they'll eat too few calories, and then they'll just turn into a human vacuum cleaner. I'm sure Dr. Stillman, if he was here, he would talk about overstressed people, mineral deficiencies. When you're overstressed and you're not taking care of yourself, you're not in a good place, you're going to crave salt, and all of a sudden that bag of potato chips just disappears in a split second. So, mineral imbalances, all these things, just overall health is going to leave you in a place where you're going to be reaching to medicate yourself, right? So there's just a few thoughts, no matter where you are, you want to basically start by improving your health, no matter what your issue is. Whether it's autoimmune disease or depression or the list goes on and on, losing weight, thyroid problems, everything comes down to improving your habits and your fundamentals. And then there might be some nuance in that. But for the most part, most people, it's like fix your circadian rhythm, eat a protein at every meal, get outside more, be more active, have good social interaction, drink high quality water. This is all the foundation of your health, no matter what your issue is. There's some caveats and some nuances to that. That's why Dr. Stillman and I have the coaching program, so we can help walk you through these things. And if you're in a bad place where you can't stop self-sabotaging yourself, start simple, start small, start with walking, start with getting more sunshine. That's going to make you feel better. I think, people don't understand how much dopamine and how much of an endorphin hit we get from the sun. I mean, it's almost like we're designed to be addicted to the sun. So if people don't get any sun, they start chasing what they would get from sun exposure from other places, right? That's particularly why, rock stars in particular seem to have lots of drug and alcohol abuse. I know Jack Cruz talks about this a ton with, tons of EMF exposure, playing loud music really late at night with around massive electromagnetic fields. And it's no wonder they're, taking uppers, downers, and all the rest of the things. So the overall health of the organism is very important, and your environment drives a lot of that. So there's just some random thoughts for you today on the road, a little experiment for you. We'll see how it turns out. And this upcoming week, we got the webinar on Thursday at 10 a.m. We're going to be, I think Leland's got Dr. Stillman's got an HTMA webinar he does at the end of every month, and I'm going to try and start scheduling these subjects out further in advance so that we can get topics out there. And if you guys have any ideas for topics or things you'd like to talk about, please leave it in the chat. We appreciate you watching, and I hope you guys have a good day, have a good weekend. It's the fall, the weather's still pretty good, so oh, there goes my phone notification. Should have silenced that. Make sure while the weather's still good, you're getting plenty of time outside. And even if you're in a state where you get winter, there's plenty of fun things you can do outside, like snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, ice fishing. I actually prefer the winter in northern Canada, where it's cold but sunny, to Kentucky, which is kind of muddy and yucky and rainy. The whole Ohio River Valley is kind of a giant gray yuck mess in the winter, and you really can't do much in that. So I actually prefer colder, sunnier weather. And if you do live at a northern latitude, go back and watch the webinar that Dr. Stillman and I did earlier. Was it this week or the week before? Might have been this week. No, it was the beginning of the month. I think it was like October 2nd or 3rd. It was how to get ready for the winter if you live in a northern latitude. We talked about sauna and all that kind of stuff. That's really, really important. that you get, if you're in the northern latitude, that you get a sauna and you get some heat exposure in the winter. All traditional cultures have sweat lodges, saunas, all those sort of things. So thanks again for tuning in. Thank you for your patience, and excited to see how this turned out. So have a great day, everyone. Have a great weekend.